Vegas Strip Studio. I'm Brad Stein. Welcome to BettorCenter Live. You can watch us daily, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but 7 a.m. on the weekends, hosted by Louis Diamond himself because he's an early riser. Today we have four pro handicappers on the show from all over the globe, from the East Coast to Las Vegas to Phoenix, Arizona, right here to help us make a little bit of money, which is a good thing. Coming up today, we have some NHL playoffs, NFL Monday Night Football, and Major League Baseball playoffs to discuss. But let's welcome back our four resident handicappers to the show: Louis D, Ross Benjamin, Chip Chirimbus, and welcome back Tony G. How you guys doing today?
Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, Brad.
Good morning, Brad.
Woo, a lot of upsets in college football. The NFL, Buffalo. Ross, your Buffalo almost blew a huge lead, but they came back. Josh Allen orchestrated an unbelievable drive. What a gorilla he is. Looking good.
Yeah, he's been terrific. You know, you're looking at his numbers right now. He's passed for over 1,000 yards. First NFL quarterback in NFL history to pass for 10 touchdowns pass for at least 10 touchdowns and run for 2 touchdowns in the first 3 games of the season. So the kid's off to a great start. Certainly helps to have good weapons on the outside like they do this season.
Before we get to what did you guys learn, I'm going to tell you what I learned, because college football is going to be very tough to predict. The Big 12, I still never trust. Oklahoma went down, not a big surprise. But we are going to find out from the four pro handicappers. But before that, Louis Diamond, take it away. Tell us about BettorCenter Live. How can we get in touch with the show? How can we make some more money? And how can we talk to you?
Thank you, Brad. It's real simple. You just go to louisdiamond.com. You get a little history on what I've done over the past 35 years. And if you want to click through and get yourself a free winner, I'll be happy to get you started out on the right foot and get you in the best way I can. I mean, I'm not looking for you to become a bigger player because you signed on. I'm looking for you to still be the same type of player you are and let me build you to a bigger and better player. Simple as that. So go out to louisdiamond.com and say hello. Looking forward to meeting you.
Another Tony Soprano shirt. I like it. Let's start with what did we learn? Ross, we heard a little bit from you. Let's go to Chip Chirimbus. What did you learn from yesterday or over the weekend?
Well, first, I got to compete with that eye candy. I need a nice shirt.
Go ahead.
That's
no,
true.
That was a shirt about. All right, got it.
That eye candy was directed to you, Chip.
Oh, how flattering.
Yes.
I did learn a few things this weekend. It's just a reinforcement of what we've already known, and that is the fact that good players can't win with poor coaching. And there are 2 teams out there and 2 coaches out there right now where everyone's been clamoring for their heads, and they both should lose them. I'm talking about Dan Quinn at Atlanta. I'm very happy about that, having Chicago as one of our best bets yesterday, and the Bears' big come-from-behind victory. And, of course, the other one would have to be the Texans coach, Jim O'Brien. I can't see these 2 leading teams to victories. They may have all the talent in the world, but I don't think those teams coached by those 2 guys will ever win.
Big words from some eye candy. Tony, welcome back to the show. What did you learn?
Well, the NFL is a league where any team can win on any week. Yesterday, you saw the 2 teams with the longest active losing streaks in the league, Detroit and Carolina, 11 and 10 games respectively. Both go on the road west of the Mississippi and get straight-up wins. So you learn to always focus on week to week, but realize anything in this league can happen. So that's why you need the advice and skill of expert handicappers like us to guide you through these minefields of the NFL.
All right, Louis D., I know you're itching to get out what you learned from yesterday and over the weekend. Go ahead.
Well, I'm really not itching to get it out because, boy, oh boy, what I learned was pretty costly yesterday, and very costly. So back to Chippers, never ask a bad team to do something good. Don't ever ask a bad quarterback to have a decent game. So, and Haskins for the Red, whatever you want to call them, for Washington is absolutely atrocious. And I learned that I will never, ever, ever money him again. I don't care if it's a teaser, a mega teaser, a super teaser, the super mega teaser. He never gets my action again. Simple as that, guys. So I learned the hard way, and that's usually what gambling does. You learn the hard way. I did yesterday.
Did anyone learn that Mike Leach is the coach of Mississippi State and he put up a Hank Aaron on LSU and he's here in the SEC to stay?
I got to say, with Mike Leach, I'll jump in here. Mike Leach has been a guy that I've been riding forever and a day. You know, there was a point in a time, and Mike Leach was the coach of Texas Tech, but during the 90s and the 2000s, you could have bet Texas Tech or Kansas State every single day, and you never would have lost both games. Leach loves to throw the ball. Leach loves to try to cover, and if he could pour it on, he does. And look out. I keep my eye on him.
All right, we'll go back to Ross. Do you have anything to add what you learned?
Yeah, what I learned, by the way, folks, I had Mississippi State plus 17 over LSU on Saturday.
There you go.
Outright underdog winner, man. 6-0-1 the last 2 Saturdays with college football with my paid selections. What I learned yesterday, Brad, I'm going to cry over spilled milk a little bit because I had the Dallas Cowboys ended up 2-2 on the day. And boy, oh boy, Seattle had no business throwing a bomb late in the game. They needed to run clock, but that's the way it goes. But what I did learn in that game is what I've been harping on this show right along. Seattle's secondary and pass defense sucks. There's no other way to put it. Look at this, guys. Week 1 against Matt Ryan, 452 yards passing for Ryan. Week 2 against the New England Patriots, Cam Newton, 397 yards passing. Week 3 against Dallas, Dak Prescott, 472 yards passing. If not for the heroics of Russell Wilson, look, the guy has thrown 14 touchdown passes in the first 3 weeks. That kind of pace can't continue. I mean, look, he's an MVP type quarterback. He's an elite quarterback, but you can't continue to give up those types of yards in the air and expect to be a contender to win it all and a serious threat when it comes to the postseason. I also learned the NFC East stinks. Okay, so that goes without saying. 0-3-1 yesterday. The NFC East went. They're 2-9-1 straight up on the year, and it's going to looking like a lot of like last year, guys, where it's going to be a team is going to win the division 9-7, 8-8. Boy, oh boy,
7-9.
Yeah,
7-9. Yeah, it could happen.
The NFC least
losing record into the playoffs.
Yeah, so
that'd be pretty
that's
sad.
what I got for you, Brad.
Well, thank you, Ross Benjamin. I think most of us agree about your assessment of Seattle's horrible secondary and pass rush, but at least they picked off Dak Prescott 2 times. At least. That's big. So if they didn't do that, it would be the worst secondary in the league.
Well,
and still, instead, it's just bad.
Again, one was a desperation pass in the end zone at the end of the game.
All right, so they picked him off one time.
Yeah, well, that's 2 interceptions, but let's keep it in perspective. That's all.
Okay, at least they got him 1 quality time. Let's move to game number 1. It's Monday Night Football, gentlemen.
There's a homer there, too.
A homer?
Brad's a homer. He's a Seattle homer. He's a Giant homer. He's a Raider homer.
I'm just speaking the truth. I said they're a horrible secondary, but at least they got a couple interceptions.
It's not like he's inaccurate, Louis.
Hey, they stopped Dak Prescott on the Cowboys when they needed to. At least. I mean, I was watching the game at my dad's house. It was brutal, but they won the game. Hopefully it'll get better. Maybe it won't. And Jamal Adams was hurt. He left the game. But anyways, we're going to move to game number 1. Chiefs at Ravens. This opened up -2.5. The Ravens, that's the Super Bowl winners. The Chiefs, 52 over under. It is currently 54.5 to over under with a -3 with the Ravens. We're going to start right with you, Ross, because you're hot. You went after me. I'm going after you. Go.
It's okay. I'm not going to give you anything because if you want this play, you're going to have to pay for it. Bottom line.
Whoa!
Look, I got a big play on this game tonight. I got the winning side. College football and the NFL combined, 16-5-1 with my last 22 pay selections. You know what they say about free picks? Try to buy a loaf of bread with them. Okay, my loaf of bread is what I bet on, what I charge for, and I am cashing in at a high rate right now. I got this play. rbwins.com. That's my analysis on that game, Brad. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Ross. Is your loaf of bread gluten-free or no?
High carb, buddy. High carb.
High carb. All right. LouisDiamond.com. Also check out YouTube at Louis Diamond. Louis D, since I just said your name and your website,
Yeah.
I know you have a play for Monday Night Football.
I mean, you need me to tell you to bet the game over? I mean, really, you think about it, I mean, you can't bet it under. The game's got to be over. I got a nice tease on the game with the over. If you want the site, visit the site, please. And we'll talk about the site as well. I do believe I got the side with the teaser. But let's be honest, guys, the over has to be a play here. If it goes under, you know, you went against the odds, and I wouldn't say you got lucky. I mean, it could be a dead under game, but I'll never play this game under. No way.
All right, Tony Gullidge, you're smiling. You wear a Linus shirt right now. It's still Carolina Panthers colors. They won a game. You're thrilled. Big whoop. Who do you like? Monday Night Football.
I'll mention, hey, the Carolina Panthers currently have the same record as the New Orleans Saints. So you can – it's a wins and loss league, right? So with that in mind, this is one of those games, 14 straight regular season wins for the Ravens, the Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champs, the previous two MVPs of the league squaring off on a Monday Night Football game. I'm sure Baltimore would love to have some fans in the stands tonight, but they're not going to be there, empty stadium. I think the spread it tells me something. I actually have this about right, a little less like Baltimore by 1.5 or 2. The fact that the number is above a field, I've seen 3.5 most of the weekend. That's telling me something there. And while I would almost always want to take Kansas City with the value on the spread, I'm going to take Baltimore tonight because I guess this is more of a you're feeling out what they're giving you as a line, and I'm deciding that, you know what, I'm going to go against my natural instinct in this game, and I'm going to play Baltimore because I think Louis is right. You expect a lot of points. I think I mentioned it on our Sunday show. A lot of times when you get these matchup of powerful offenses, a lot of times the games might sneak under for what I don't know, the play calling. They're trying to trick each other with the strategy, perhaps slows the tempo down a bit. I don't really see that tonight. Kansas City, perhaps they were looking ahead, did not look good against the Chargers, a team that got beat at home to the Panthers yesterday. So if you want to correlate that, you would think this might be a tough spot for the Chiefs. I'm going to back the Ravens. Baltimore for me tonight.
Chip, did you just take a bite out of the camera or something?
No, I went to get my water.
Oh, okay.
Listen, great Monday night matchup without question. I mean, you got the Super Bowl champs at 3.5 and 3-point underdog against a team that's won 12 regular season games before they got beaten in the playoffs last year. The Ravens, of course, were eliminated by Tennessee. Like I said, it's a great matchup. These quarterbacks are really something. One of them does more with his legs. Of course, that's Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes is just fabulous, and his legs help him out as well because he's able to get himself free from the pocket or the pressure, and he throws on the run as good as anyone I've ever seen. I don't know about you guys. Before I go any further, I wanted to say something to Ross about that Dallas game. If you remember last week, I said I just can't get by Russell Wilson. Yep. I can't get by him.
That yesterday on the phone too. So
and I just passed that game because of that reason. I passed that game because of that reason. Now, getting back to the Monday night's game, the total I'm not so interested in because I can see both these teams scoring high, and I can see the Ravens defense taking over and Kansas City not have been in the past. That being said, I think this 3.5, like Tony said, is indicative. He has it at 1.5. Why would the odds maker make it 3.5 unless they think the Ravens really had an edge here? And I think they do. So you don't have to bother going to the website or wherever. This is my side tonight, and I've got the Ravens.
Thank you, chipwins.com. Early football looks. This could be from college football or the NFL. Do you have a loaf of bread cooking on this one? On anything, Ross?
Yeah, look at that Texas Tech at Kansas State game, boys. Kansas State coming off that huge upset win at Oklahoma, beating the Sooners for the second time in a row. And they're going to be taking on a Texas Tech team that they're going to be favored against. and opening move saw that line go from 4 to 3.5, and I think justifiably so. Remember, this is the same Kansas State team that lost 31-14 at home to Arkansas State. Texas Tech coming off that really tough overtime loss at home to Texas. I think Texas Tech will be able to move the ball at will against this team. The only thing that killed Oklahoma last week was their turnovers. Otherwise, they move the ball at will. So I would take a hard look early on. I'm not going to make a definitive play just yet, but I think take a look at that game going, as an early look. Also in the NFL, Las Vegas at Buffalo, or Buffalo at Las Vegas. I'm sorry. Look, the Bills right now, they're giving up a lot of yards like they have in the last two games. That's not going to continue. That defense is too good. They'll straighten it out. Las Vegas giving up way too many yards offensively, and this just in. The Bills are pretty good on offense this year, and Brad just brought up Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm going to sound like a homer, but by the same token, I'm going to sound like a handicapper too. They're awful good value with a small favorite here on Buffalo. Is my early look against the Las Vegas Raiders. And by the way, folks, the Buffalo Bills are 7-2 since last year in regular season road games. So it's not like they're a bad road team either. Back to you, Brad.
No.
Louis, bag of diamonds, early football looks.
All right. Well, yeah, boy, oh boy, Homer. And now we got the Homer Ross versus the Homer Brad coming up this Saturday and Sunday. So that does look like a pretty interesting game. You're Homer everywhere.
From Vegas, man.
Yeah, I think this looks to be a pretty interesting matchup, and the Bills have been playing well, but not for nothing, they blew a 28-3 lead also yesterday, which they were fortunate enough to come back because the Rams couldn't hold the lead either. So I guess that's what I learned yesterday. Neither team can hold the lead. Bill's lucky the clock ran out, but they have been playing decent ball. So tough look there. I see that, but my early looks are we got to look at Joe Burrow again. Now he becomes the big favorite. A little scared of that. I got to tell you that. As high as I am on Burrow, I don't like them coming out with him as a 3-point favorite right away. Jags have been impressive, as we know this year. So, and they could bounce back. So that could be an opportunity. And the Texans and the Vikings, I gotta give some love to the Vikings. The Texans really have shown if they couldn't do it last week or they couldn't do it yesterday, I really got to look to be fading them. And obviously I have to get back on my Kyler train after his disappointing appearance yesterday. So I will look for the rebound with the Cardinals, early looks, and I will be looking to bet against Haskins. But obviously right now the Ravens are 14, and we'll see what that number turns into. But I think 14 is still probably a good number for the Ravens next week if you can get it.
Thank you, Diamond. And that brings us to the eye candy of the show.
How about that? Listen, I think Ross is right on. I haven't done much looking ahead at the colleges or even the pros, other than the fact that when you have a team like Kansas State, who beat Oklahoma for the second straight time, is up against a offensive juggernaut like the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, I think that the Wildcats are not going to be in the same place mentally. After coming back from 3 touchdowns back and roaring back and beating Oklahoma, I think Wildcats, Kansas State should be flat here. What the line is, I don't know what the number is. I just know that Ross told me these two teams were playing. I listened to him, and I don't believe Kansas State can get ready for this game. And in the NFL on Sunday, I just took a good look. There's 2 0-3 teams playing each other, which is going to be very interesting. You have Minnesota going to Houston, and Houston is absolutely terrible, and Minnesota just looks like they just don't have it this year. And I'm going to be interested in seeing what happens in that one. Somebody's got to come out with a win. Well, maybe not in today's NFL.
Tony G.
Yes. A little NFL handicapping that I do, just a little tidbit of information. I like to go to the teams that are undefeated and the teams that are winless at this point in the season and continues on. So what I do is I'll look at the undefeated teams and I'll try to find the weakest link of those. To me right now, it's the Bears. I think they've tiptoed through an easy schedule and gotten to 3-0. And on the flip side of that, I look at the teams that haven't won a game yet and try to figure out who the best team of those is. And I think it's Minnesota. I did have the Vikings yesterday. They covered the spread. Tough loss for them. So the worst team, Chicago, as far as undefeated teams, I'm looking for any spot to probably try to bet against them at this point. And it is a tricky spot to take the Vikings as they're playing another 0-3 team. And the Texans haven't covered any spreads. They looked good for about a half yesterday before they fell apart. So I agree there's a lot going on. But always keep in mind to find good spots for bad teams and to find the weakest spots for the good teams. Well, I think the Bears fading them this week is a good spot to look from my gut instincts of how they've played and how they've won their games.
Guys, if you need to go to the restroom, now's the time to do it. Coming up next, some NHL playoffs, and maybe we'll get into Major League Baseball playoffs. That is next. BettorCenter Live, LouisDiamond.com, and YouTube at Louis Diamond.
Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for BettorCenter Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. BettorCenter Live.
That's right. Welcome back to BettorCenter Live. Long commercial, but we're back. LouisDiamond.com at YouTube, Louis Diamond. Guys, we have 4 handicappers here. We have Chip, we have Ross, we have Louis Diamond, and Tony Gullidge. Guys, welcome back to the show. Hope you had a good restroom break. We moved to game number 2, NHL playoffs. If anyone has a go on this, and I think, Tony, you do, the Lightning and the Stars. Lightning minus 160 over under 5. You've been hot in the playoffs, I know.
Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the 3-2 Tampa Bay. Dallas, both the games 4 and 5 went to overtime. These teams have been battling. It's exactly what you expect to see for good NHL playoff hockey. A lot of hitting, a lot of sticking, and good goaltending. Even though I think that they've scored some goals, the way these teams are battling, it's really compelling to watch. I love playoff hockey. I can't stand hockey during the regular season. It reminds me of the Ice Capades or Disney's Wonderful World on Ice, kind of boring and theatric. But when these guys get into game 6 of the Stanley Cup, these dudes are going to be pegging each other into the boards hard. I'm going to give the edge to Tampa Bay here. I think they've been the better team in the series. Dallas has just picked a couple good spots and stole a couple games. Like the goal they got in double overtime in Game 5 was kind of a fortunate situation. I think Tampa Bay comes in knowing tonight's a huge game. They're going to take the title. They'll be drinking from the cup tonight. Tampa Bay's to play.
All right, before I go to the bag of diamonds, I'm going to give Ross and Chip a chance. Do you guys want to come back on NHL, or is this no?
Nah, it's right now my focus is on football, and my focus is on the Major League Baseball playoffs. I would say this: Tony's been red hot in the NHL playoffs, and you folks out there, if you're betting on the NHL, it would be wise to go to his website and purchase his play tonight, because the guy has been right on. He's been lights out, and I would highly encourage you people, be smart. Buy from Tony Gullidge, the Great White Capper, and cash in tonight in the NHL.
Careful when you pass that $20 bill, Tony, all right?
Thank you for that unsolicited plug. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a nice plug. Diamond, do you have anything to add?
You know what? No game has gone under in the series, so why is it going to start tonight? If Tony is right in his choice, I believe that it should be another over. There's been a couple pushes in there, so I just think the over is probably the safe play. Obviously, Tampa being the favorite is probably the safer play. But if they do get to Game 7, I would highly recommend you get on that under as soon as it happens. We know about Game 7 unders now, right, guys? Yeah. Okay.
All right, New Yorkers, now I see the smile coming, because we're going to talk about Major League Baseball playoffs Tuesday. And, of course, the first game, it has to be the Yankees with Cole on the mound at Cleveland. Opened up, Yankees or make that Cleveland minus 102, 6.5 over under. Currently, it's minus 110. Cleveland, still 6.5. Ross, we'll start with you, big Yankee fan.
Yeah, boy, is this a tough call, right? You know, Justin Bieber, Shane Bieber on the mound for Cleveland. The guy he's a Cy Young winner. There's no two ways about it. I don't know how it would be an absolute travesty if this guy doesn't win the American League Cy Young Award this year. And Garrett Cole, been a little vulnerable at times this year. I mean, look, he's still got an outstanding ERA. He's still got outstanding numbers. But he hasn't been as dominant as I've seen him in recent years. Having said that, he's still better than 90% of the rest. And again, a little leery here because he hasn't been great on the road either. So real tough call for me. That under, I would have liked at 7, but getting down to 6.5, it takes a little bit of value away. And again, I'm not trustworthy right now of the Yankees bullpen nor of Cleveland's bullpen over the last 20 games or so. So they started out like a house on fire, but they've been shaky over that period of time I just alluded to. Back to you, Brad.
Back to you, Chip. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Another big Yankee fan.
Well, I like this baseball game. I'll tell you right now, I think it's probably going to go under. And, one of the things that Ross mentioned was Cole hasn't been as effective, particularly on the road. I think the thing you have to check, Ross, and the thing that all of us should check is who is catching for the Yankees. Cole's ERA is over 4 when Sanchez is behind the plate, and it's under 1 when he's throwing to anyone else that catches the ball for the Yankees. We know.
And I want you to pronounce Chipper. I want you to pronounce the Yankees' backup catcher's name. What is it?
He was sent to Pittsburgh. You're talking about the Hawaiian guy or the Japanese guy?
Yeah, the Japanese guy. What's his name? Come on, man. You're Al Michaels. You need to.
The best Yankee catcher I remember was still Yogi Berra. But
go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Rick Cerrone.
Wait a minute.
What about Thurman?
Not a bad Paisan. Thurman was great. Now, here's the thing. Where were we? Oh, I want to make a mention about this hockey game. You never even asked me, and for good reason, because the only time I deal with ice is when it's in my glass with Bombay and tonic. So let's get off the hockey game, and we'll stay with this Major League Baseball. The Yankees, what? The Yankees have been struggling. Cleveland has the best ERA in the major leagues. I think this game stays under, and just pray that Sanchez doesn't catch for the Yankees.
We were off the hockey game, Chippers. Louis Diamond, Yankees and Cleveland. Game number 3.
All right. If there was ever a coin flip, I think we got one here. Even with the total, but at 7 would be a total coin flip because right now I got to lean a little bit towards the over. I think the 6.5 is a little over exaggeration. And I've been on Cleveland, as you know, the whole restart. And the Cleveland game on the Cleveland under, and we paid dearly the past 10 to 14 days because they've kind of given it up. So I think there's some value in the over here because 4 out of the last 5, where the hell was my number? 4 of the last 5 head-to-head have gone over. So but yes, we do got the 2 aces on the mound, but it's a coin flip, but they gave you 6.5, so I'm going to give a little edge on the over, and we'll see what happens in the first game. I think we got a great series.
Tony, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, this is a great first-round matchup, the expanded playoffs. I have Cleveland winning this series, and I put a note, if the Yankees are going to win a game, this has got to be the first game. But I'm leaning to the Indians here. They're hot. They're 8-2. Their last 10 coming in. Going into the MLB playoffs, I always like to see teams that are winning. A little continuity, a good flow, because it's hard just to flip a switch. I had the name of that catcher for the Yankees, Higashiyako, or some 8-syllable. It's pretty long.
I want Chip to pronounce it, Tony.
That wasn't nice, Ross.
Anyway, go ahead.
Both these pitchers, man, the pitching matchup is so strong. Both of these pitchers have a whip under 1, which is, excellent. It's in the higher echelon of whips. And the Bieber's like 0.79. So, literally not putting many men on base. So you look at a game where maybe a pop shot home run as nobody's getting on. I will note that we mentioned in Garrett Cole, excuse me. His last 3 starts, he has been getting progressively better. I don't think he's given up a run, more than 1 run in any of his last 3 starts going 7 innings. So while he did have his struggle, he has gradually picked up the pace, and I'm expecting – you really expect a low-scoring game here, but at 6.5, that's barely any runs, right? So that's tough for me to take. But I think the play here is going to be on Cleveland, even though I will acknowledge that the Yankees have to win this game to have any chance at the series. Because when you look at the pitching matchups beyond this game, Cleveland has a clear-cut advantage with the pitching. So for me, I'm going to take Cleveland game 1 here.
Can I add something in, please? Just keep in mind. Yeah, come on. Okay. Brad, is it okay? I mean,
yeah, it's okay. I mean, how am I going to stop you?
I mean, boy, oh boy, I hate to be your brother walking in the door all the time. Holy cow. Anyway, yeah, these are 3-game series, guys. And I don't know if a lot of people are aware of that. All 3 games will be played at the home field of the higher seed. So we're not talking best of 5. So Tony makes a great point. It's paramount the Yankees win tonight because they're throwing their ace. And they'll have to win the next 2 without Cole. So, and I think it favors Cleveland when it comes to the starting rotation. So, very good points by Tony. I just wanted to bring that up, guys, because it's new.
Well, yeah, 3 games. That is a good point, Ross. I don't think a lot of people are aware. It's 2 out of 3. It's like put up or shut up coming in. So it's going to happen fast. But it's we'll see how exciting this is. It might flame out and not be what we expect, but I think this is going to be some good, compelling, dramatic baseball in these playoffs. We'll see how it plays out.
And let me clear one thing up.
Go ahead, please.
Higashioka.
Wait,
Higashioka.
To do it.
He's been looking at the pronunciation for the last 10 minutes.
I'm good at pronunciation. Higashioka. So there you go. So anybody that did know,
Chipper,
there's your trivia answer.
Repeat that name. Come on,
Not a chance.
Come on, Chip. He just wants to make fun of your.
Not gonna. I'm a numbers guy, not a letters guy.
I get that.
All right, guys.
I won't even try.
Most interesting play of the day, and Ross, since you've just been so hot on that microphone, you might as well start with your most interesting play of the day here on BettorCenter Live.
I'm going to look ahead. First of all, I'm not going to give an interesting play out in the NFL. I want to wait till tomorrow on the baseball to make definitive decisions. So I'm going to give you a real early look in college football. Interesting play of the day as we speak right now as I'd look at this SMU and Memphis game this week. Really good game in the AAC. SMU comes in with a 3-0 record. They've covered their last 2. Both is a double-digit favorite. Memphis has not played since early September, the first week of September, guys, because of the COVID-19 epidemic that hit that team. So I don't know how sharp they're going to be. I know SMU is going to be playing with revenge from a 51-45 road loss at Memphis last year. And I got a good betting angle here, Louis. Any home team playing in a conference game that's coming off back-to-back straight-up and ATS wins in which they were a double-digit favorite on both occasions was Memphis or SMU is coming off of 56-4 straight up since 2016.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, and the straight-up number takes a lot of credence for me in this situation since the number is virtually a pick-em game. I mean, I believe right now SMU is 1.5-point dog. So early lean, guys. Very, very early lean. I'm going to take SMU here at home against Memphis.
We're going to have to start doing the most interesting angle of the day, aren't we, Ross?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's coming. I think that's coming soon. Just a gut feeling of mine.
Well, I love when you got a gut feeling on something, Ross. Guys, you better stay tuned for that, huh?
Louis, you were a bowler. I mean, you had a bowl, so I'm going to set it up, and you're going to knock it down. Your most interesting bowl. I mean, what else is there to do in Buffalo? Exactly. You figured it out. You got my point. Most interesting play of the day is what, where, and who?
Millstream Lanes in Tonawanda, New York. But yeah, in Buffalo, that's all you got to do. You get to bowl, and you get to eat chicken wings, and you get to root for the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres. That is the life the Buffaloonians.
And if you really get bored, you drink and fight. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, the drinking goes without saying. 4 a.m. bars, and listen, what else you gonna do? You're bowling or watching football or hockey. That's it. Or you're shoveling the damn driveway. Fuck that.
What's your interesting play, Lou? What's your interesting play?
Oh, hey, all right, guys, all right. You know what's going to be interesting, guys? If you open up a teaser on this game in the over tonight, just open it up. You can open up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not afraid to play the big teasers in the NFL. Yeah, I got beat and kicked a little bit yesterday, but if you were around last Sunday, we cashed so big it wasn't even funny. So, I mean, really, 11-1 last week. Yes, yesterday. And I feel bad for the guys that just kind of signed on with me yesterday. We had a terrible day yesterday. And that you're thinking that that's what's going to happen all the time. No, it's going to happen sometimes. There's no doubt about that with anybody. But keep your head up, guys. We're going to get through that terrible day yesterday. We had a beautiful day on Saturday. So everybody didn't have a terrible weekend, just the guys that jumped in yesterday. So open up a teaser with the over here tonight, and that I will call my can of whoop ass to start.
Wow, that was beautifully said. Chip, can you top that?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone plays. I don't know if anyone could ever top that.
But look at that.
I'm looking forward to my interesting play is actually going to be tomorrow. We're very limited, of course, with only one game here today, and that is an American League playoff game where Houston, who's had an absolutely horrendous road record, goes to Minnesota, who's been absolutely spectacular at home. You got Mantis is pitching for Minnesota over from the Dodgers, but there's a key factor here for Houston, and it's Greinke. And Greinke's pitching up there, and I expect this game to be an under between these two tomorrow night. Houston and Minnesota at Minnesota. I know, Louis, you've been riding the under with the Twins almost the whole season, and you've been very profitable. You've been very profitable with that, and I'm looking to take advantage. Greinke can be as tough as anybody, and but it's tough to take Houston with the way they've played on the road this year and the way the Twins have played at home. So I look for this game to stay under.
I only want credit when it wins, Chip.
That's the only time you're going to get it.
What do you have to say?
I don't think we've mentioned it on the show that the NBA Finals start Wednesday. Throw in that my service has cashed the last 5 NBA playoff selections over the past 5 days, including Miami last night dispatching the Celtics in 6 games. So that's Wednesday, game 1. You can get to the greatwhitecapper.com, check out the service packages, and get my information early. You'll wake up with my email in your mailbox with what I think of the day's action. For the most interesting play to the game Chip mentioned, Houston at Minnesota. I like a $1.40, $1.45. Get this while you can. Maeda at home with the Twins in this short series where they have to win. Chip even mentioned Houston's been awful on the road. This is a great price for a good spot in a game they must win with a pitcher that has performed for them. Maeda also with a whip under 0.8. So definitely going to be a tough spot for Houston. They're not going to be able to bang the trash cans. Their batting averages are around 225. I don't think they're going to get any help from anyone in Minnesota. Play the Twins in game 1 tomorrow. That's my most interesting play.
And this is my most interesting play of the day. Eugene, quickly mute the guys, because this is the best part of the show. It's over. We'll see you next time. BettorCenter, quickly mute them for more up-to-date information. Great picks. Thank you to our fantastic team, Louis D, Chip, Del, Ross, Tony, all the guys. Special thanks to Eugene and Spotlight Film Productions. If you don't play, you won't win. I'm Brad. NBA playoffs, that's right. The finals start Wednesday. What a great day it was. Monday Night Football. Have a wonderful day. See ya. Get out of here. Goodbye.